A 60s radical once said, "The issue is never the issue is always the revolution." Pick an agenda: gay rights, civil rights, environment, immigration, name it. For the left, the issue is only relevant if it advances their agenda, power and wealth, to the exclusion of all else. Refugee resettlement is one of their little-known but more malevolent issues. It dilutes American culture, it sucks up welfare resources, it creates racial and ethnic tension, fiscal stress, and unemployment. However, it cultivates loyal Democratic voters, and that's what the Democrats want, because the end goal is the left's long-sought permanent progressive majority. The Refugee Resettlement Program originated with the UN. In 1976, the UN Conference on Human Settlements in Vancouver, Canada, urged nations to, 1, abolish private property, and 2, urgently develop settlements policies. The UN sees its mission as redistributing land, populations, and resources to remedy social injustice and promote equity. To this day, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees gets first priority for refugee referrals, and the United States refers more refugees than all other nations combined. 9 voluntary agencies, or VOLAGs, have contractual agreements with the U.S. government to identify, manage, and place refugees. Every week, these VOLAGs meet to review refugee applicants and decide the most appropriate settlement location. Federal, state, and local officials are largely left out of the process. You are completely left out of the process. Many of the VOLAGs consider themselves religious, but they are merely government contractors making big bucks in a billion-dollar industry. Today, the program has metastasized. In addition to refugees and asylum seekers, there are the families of those, it's called Follow to Join, diversity visas, a special Cuban-Haitian entrant program, and another for Iraqis and Afghans called Special Immigrant Visas, or SIVs. Together, they bring in almost 200,000 people annually from the Third World, a large proportion of these from Muslim countries. They are plopped without our knowledge or consent in communities throughout the country and bring with them third world cultures, habits, and needs, and usually a stubborn refusal to assimilate. In the past 2 years, 20 Somali Americans have left to join ISIS, and more have tried. The government provides grants to help refugees become self-sufficient, but many don't bother. After 5 years in the U.S., significant numbers of refugees remain on the dole, as the table shows, costing American taxpayers over $6 billion per year. This is not the worst of it. VOLAGs have over 350 subcontractors in 190 cities throughout the U.S., and there's a vast network of organizations feeding on government grants and billions of private foundation dollars devoted to the refugee program. At the behest of the White House, Welcoming America, a nationwide network of 18 state operations with 52 partner cities in 33 states, has launched a PR campaign to, quote, welcome refugees and immigrants. They call it culture shaping. How do you like that? They seek to seed refugees and immigrants in welcoming communities while weeding out pockets of resistance with Alinsky-style tactics, using groups like the Southern Poverty Law Center that identify and publicly defame opponents, calling them racists, xenophobes, etc. The UN wants the world community to resettle 130,000 Syrian refugees. 14 U.S. senators we have dubbed the Jihad Caucus advocate accepting 65,000 of these. The FBI assures us they can't be vetted, so it is likely ISIS terrorists will be among them. Refugee resettlement is a major front in the left's war to steal America. Their reckless ambitions heed no warnings, and our lack of awareness is creating unacceptable risks to our freedom, our security, and our very way of life. I have written a short book, The Red-Green Axis: Refugees, Immigration, and the Agenda to Erase America. It details the organizations, the networks, the players, the dollars, and the tactics involved. The agenda is real, and it's an existential threat. Please read it and share it among your friends and loved ones. The time has arrived when we all must stand up and be counted, or risk losing the country we love, the beacon of freedom for the world, and the only true guarantor for world peace.